Hello, hello. We are going to go live, a surprise little live this morning. Lots to talk about. We'll give it a couple minutes. I don't usually go live in the morning, but today I am. So, let you look over there. We'll see who all comes in. My cup says it correctly, doesn't it? What am I doing out of bed? Should grab my glasses. Good morning, good morning. It says that there's one person in here. If you can see and hear me, let me know. We'll give it a few for some people to come in. So I'm going to have to go grab my glasses. It's 9:05 here. Now it says 0 people. Come on in, come on in. I don't usually go live in the morning, and I thought, why not? It's a very busy evening if you've seen the news. So, sun's kind of getting me in the face. It's so astonishing when you get major storms and then the next day the sun's out and it's quiet and the birds are chirping. It's just insane. So we're going to discuss what took place here, this area that's been on the news. So, and have some coffee talk. We're going to have to give it a few for some people to get in. Okay, the lighting's all the way up. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to let this run and I'm going to go grab my glasses so I can see. So I'll be right back. Okay, I don't know if this is working or not working, so if the one person can say hello or leave a comment, that would be awesome, just so I know if this is working or not. Like if you could see or hear me. 9:08 here in Pennsylvania. I may have to start this over if I don't see a comment. Garden State Gardener, good morning. Been thinking about you. I've been thinking about you too. Are you safe? You okay? How are the storms? You see how bad my area got hit, Joe? Unbelievable. It's all over the news. It's everywhere. I'm just a little shook up. It's very weird, like a tornado to hit, and then I just said this at the very beginning because this is a random. Let's have coffee and chit chat. It's amazing that the sun's out the next day, the birds are chirping, and there was just so much like destruction. Did you have any problems in Jersey? Good morning, Craze Family Homestead. How are you? 3 tornado warnings in 1 week. Crazy. I know. Well, this is what's kind of going on here. My son works for Faulkner dealership, and but he happens to work in the one in Jenkintown, and I just so happened to go out on the front step. True story. And my son calls on the phone and says, "Mom, where are you?" And I said, "Out on the front step." "Why?" And he goes, "Get in the house. Tornado touchdown." So where I lived, it's only a few minutes from here. The Faulkner dealership completely is gone, collapsed. Some casualties. The my favorite Target, I like to say Target, the roof is off of there. Home Depot is a mess. Lowe's is just, it's all over the news, folks. It's everywhere. I was getting warnings to my phone to head into the basement. And you know, I'm familiar with this area, but I've never lived at this particular area. So the storms here have just been brutal, and they scare me every single time. You know, like we've had 3 major storms that were terrible. And now this, I mean, absolutely tornado touchdown, and it is a mess. They have Street Road, which is major, I don't know if you want to call that like an intersection. Street Road goes a long way, and it's completely closed down. It's just a mess. We just had a lot of, let me reach up just a tad, a lot of flooding. Hello, ill. I'm just going to say ill. Good morning. How are you? I'm okay. My nerves are shot. I've had pains in my chest last night. I literally said to Jimmy, like, kidding me? You know, got to go into the basement, and so my nerves are still shot today. I'm glad I'm okay. I was very concerned. I mean, I lived right there in that area. I did check, you know, after I got my thoughts together. I first started calling my other kids. The daughter didn't answer. My youngest, Jared, answered, and said the storm before this was crazy. And he said he just can't even believe it. I mean, Jared remembers the last big tornado that hit here. But, I mean, we were out walking around in that tornado. His Phillies hat blew off. We just made fun from it. I mean, I still had electricity and stuff like that. Just, I don't know. Just crazy, crazy, crazy. A lot of damage. What he's saying, okay. Hello. I hate tornadoes. Ugh. Let me tell you. What is that one, Joe? It was a few years back. It starts with an S. I just can't think right now. As you can tell, I need a really big cup of coffee today. Like, I killed myself yesterday. Can we start with that? I mean, I don't even know what to do. My poor subscribers, it's like, I'm killing myself. I'm producing videos, and I might do 4 videos in one day. And yesterday, suddenly, my phone was acting up, too. It's a brand new phone. And it, you know, part 1, part 2's again. I can't stand having to do that to y'all. But that might be what happens. Sandy, that's it. Yeah, Sandy, we literally were walking in the water, and, you know, I never lost electricity. I mean, it was bad. Don't misunderstand me, but You know, when I try to explain I'm by the water here, it's crazy. Where I just moved from is literally where it hits. And my son just taking a job with Faulkner, which is all over the news, just breaks my heart. That building, people were in that building. There was multiple casualties. The building is just done. It's done. There's cars flipped over. I'm rather lucky where I live. For the last 46 years, I've never seen a tornado touch down. I've seen 3 jump over the town, but never touch down. It's interesting because you could see the funnel cloud. I guess that's what they call it. But I did check on my friend Jay, who lives where I used to live, and you can never get a straight answer out of him. And then he did text back and said he was eating and watching TV. So, you know, the Home Depot that I always went to, I would say it's 6 minutes from here. The Lowe's, my favorite Target, and then right there, which is the borderline, it's Bensalem, Trevose is where the Faulkner dealership was. And there's just a lot of damage within the area, like neighborhoods and whatnot. I mean, I'm out here today with a cup of coffee, and I honestly have to think that I'm unscathed. I mean, this neighborhood is constantly cutting down trees from the last 3 previous storms. This tornado, for some reason, went a couple inches past me. Thank God. Because I don't know about that whole go in the basement thing. I think about that. Jimmy, his dad, and his brother built this house, and the one next door with the crazy neighbor, which that one's big. I really like it. She complains about it all the time. But, you know, when our phones started going off, I was like, Jim, are we supposed to go in the basement? I think to myself, I get it. You're supposed to go into the basement, but you always worry about, you know, the homes falling on you or the rubble falling on you. And Jimmy was so confident enough to say, this house isn't going anywhere. It is not going to move. Nothing's going to come crashing down. I'm like, really? There's top-notch builders that build, and buildings come down, and things are steel and they still come down. But he was so blasé about it. Good morning, everyone. Hope you all are doing amazing. Thor Haven Farm. Good morning. So I think my cup is fitting today. What am I doing out of bed? I literally killed myself yesterday. I harvested the peppers, the sweet peppers. I did hot peppers. Of course, it broke the video into 2. And then I quick rushed to, I've been getting tomatoes for the last couple weeks. And I wanted to quick pick tomatoes before the storm came. Because it did say possible tornado. I think it was around 3 o'clock. At 6 o'clock is when, you know, all holy hell broke loose. So, when I was 10, I was outside playing. I found about 100 yards away, a tornado formed. You just saw boxed thing going in circle. Yeah, I mean, we're all over the news. It says Bensalem, Trevose. It's my area. And, you know, the Home Depot, the dealership, like, that's all right where I lived. Then I ran inside, and then all the news channels started following the story. Wait, let me go back to it. Okay. When I was 10, I was outside playing, diving in mud puddles. Yep. Hold on. Laugh out loud. Great way to learn how to slide for baseball, and for 100 yards away, a tornado formed. Just saw boxed and things going in circles. Yeah, it's crazy. Then I ran inside, and then all the news channels started following the story. Yeah. It's just, I mean, all the videos I've done about storm number 1, storm number 2, storm number 3, and look, I mean, the damage has already been done here. There's nothing I can really do about it. I had the video on, it came up in Sunday's Live about how I have to literally pick tomatoes. And then I had to pick tomatoes yesterday because I wanted to get them before they split, you know, or the storm take them all out. And it is the most ridiculous sight you've ever seen. I have to crawl in between these little crawl spaces, and but what a girl won't do just to get her tomatoes, right? So I harvested so much yesterday that I cannot use a sourdough um, scale. I think I'm just going to have to use a regular scale. There's just so much. Um, so yeah, I really feel bad. And, I really liked it there. If it wasn't for the rich people that, bought my place, I would probably still be living there. Everything is just very convenient there. And, like the Neshaminy Mall's there, the car dealerships there, you have Home Depot, you have Lowe's, you have Walmart, you have Target, and could you imagine, just a matter of, 6 minutes away from me, and it hits and skips over this place this time, just unbelievable. So I saw the dogwood tree out front just completely bending, and I was a nervous wreck. And yet this time it just, I'll be right back. Kids are fighting. Grace Family Home said. But you know what? You're going to miss that later for sure, because I know I do. Garden State Gardener, I did see Joey say he's going home. Oh, he's such a cutie patootie. How's he doing? I hope everything's okay. So I figured I would jump on and have some coffee with y'all, because I'm just woke up really nervous today. I had some heart palpitations last night, which is weird. I felt fine at the time, and here they are coming back again. So I might have to get it checked out, and I'm just not feeling like 1,000% today. And it could be because I overworked myself. I literally was out here from 7:30 in the morning until about 4 o'clock harvesting. And now it's everywhere. And I need that stiff kick foot up my rear end to get going. Bill says, gotta run. Glad you're okay. See you next time. Bye. Thank you for coming in. Need more Baileys for the coffee. Yeah, Thor, I'm as Irish as they get. And I've never, maybe once I put Irish cream inside my coffee, but I can't mess with my first cup of, this is me first thing in the morning, and this is my first cup of coffee. As you can see, I didn't really drink a whole lot yet. It's my first cup of coffee of the morning, and now it's like I have to deal with food everywhere. Like when Jimmy came home from work yesterday, I had to tell him like a couple things. I said, oh, by the way, there's food everywhere. And he's like, yeah, I see that. Have a great day, Il. That's how I say the channel name. Joey is healing up and relaxing. He's doing good. We won't know for 5 to 6 months to see if the operation just started to work. Okay, lots of prayers still, obviously. I got so choked up last Sunday on my live, like I had to pull that together so quick as I started crying. I mean, I am and just love kids. Not just my own, I just had this thing for kids. I would have had 5, but I ended up with 3 living, so yeah, I think I'm just exhausted, and I really feel bad. The other thing I wanted to touch base on, besides this terrible tornado they are saying is a tornado, it is saying that certain spots of Jersey got hit too. So I'm not sure, like, if anything in your area, but I mean, like Galloway Road, if you go out, and you can go up Galloway Road to the Galloway Bridge, and it brings you right out there to the ball fields on the right. The development I lived in is on the left, and literally they're even saying that Galloway Road is closed, Street Road is indefinitely closed. I mean, it's a big fat mess up there, and they literally are describing it as something you would see in a war-torn country. So I just can't even imagine, my old neighborhood being like that. My favorite places I like to go. Crazed Family Homestead. I have not really seen AIM in a while. She's so funny. A little south, 10 miles and 10 miles west. Wow, really? It's a very strange kind of summer, isn't it? Um, One, I feel like for me, it's an adjustment. Like when the power went out, we were here with no electricity. Wasn't We had that really bad storm, the last one that just rolled in, not last night's, and damage again per usual. And then the electricity didn't go out, and then the next night the power went out. And I mean, it went out, came right back on, and then it was like woof, and you could hear it completely went out. And needless to say, I was an anxious mess. And all my friends were like, "You're okay, you're okay." And I'm like, "No, not really. I live in a new place, new environment, and when you have anxiety, it takes a little bit to get adjusted. Let alone did I want to be in the dark. I wasn't even prepared. I had one lantern that worked because my other lanterns that are like the LED lanterns, I need some AA batteries. I'm all out. And yeah, so I used the flashlight. I couldn't figure out what was going on. I walked around here. It was so black. Just one person right on the water was running a generator. And then my daughter's now fiance said there's 650 people without electricity due to someone hitting the pole that had the generator on the top. So it's just been one thing after another. Two places that got hit good by me in New Jersey. Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit more of a broader span. It's majorly Bensalem, Trevose, which is where I'm at. I'm in Bensalem. And Trevose is where I went to the urgent care. Hold on. That urgent care I went to I was gardening and I felt the back of my foot pop, and that's where now I have the hiccups. And I'm not even drinking alcohol yet. I went to that particular urgent care for my torn Achilles heel with tendonitis right there. So I don't know what's going to happen with my son. My son is at the one, he just got this one. He's in the one in Jenkintown. I guess they're not going to need him, to be quite frank with you. I figured, they might move some employees to this one, but then I saw, like, in clear view this morning, and it's demolished. Completely demolished. They show you the funnel cloud. It's the tornado absolutely hit. So, yeah, they're going to have to completely either rip that down or rebuild it. Windows are blown out, roof's off. Speaking of the roof off, my youngest, Jared, works for Target. And I got a text message from my friend last night that said, the woman that he's with, she works for Target, and he said, tornado touchdown, which I already knew. Jean's at Target working and the roof blew off. Sorry, I have the hiccups. The roof blew off, and my son works there, so it's that quick panic to make sure he didn't pick up a shift and wasn't in there working. So I said to my friend, well, what happens if you're scheduled for work the next day? And he said, well, I guess there's no work. So I don't know what's going on. I don't know if Target would have an emergency crew come out to get the roof on and it be done that quickly. I highly doubt it. But I called my Jared on the phone and I'm like, the roof is off on Target. You need to call them about your shift tomorrow to see what you should do and make sure that you get a name so they can't say that you didn't show up. And he said, why? And I said, because the roof is off at Target. So thinking about changing the way I grow and how to garden next year, thinking about hydroponics, have a smaller garden, growing isolated hot pepper seeds and growing cut flowers and selling them. That is a great idea. I mean, hydroponics for me, I doubt it. I'll be able to do that. Well, you never know when you put your mind to something, but this year was all new soil. Don't mind my hair. New soil. Oh, can you try out all the bug out seeds? And I did that and ended up with 3 beds of tomatoes. Jay repeats himself and says the same thing over and over again. Like, oh, well, what would you do different? Come next year, you're going to plant the same tomatoes. No, I'm not going to plant the same tomatoes, that amount of tomatoes. I've never planted that amount of tomatoes. But I'm thinking next year, God willing, the two beds in the back might be tomatoes, because of the factor you can't really see the whole rest of the garden because of these tomatoes. But literally, I have to crawl in. So I was picking tomatoes yesterday. I was crawling in, getting the tomatoes. The video cuts off, and then it's me jumping back on to show the actual harvest of the tomatoes. I can't stand doing that to my subscribers, but I went back to a brand new Samsung Galaxy S9 Plus, and I did the software upgrade, unfortunately, and now it's doing the same thing that the S21 was doing, which is, you know, overheating and cutting off your videos. And I have a really cute one. I was picking beans, and then it cuts out, and then it goes to the part 2, and it's my Yorkies. What is it? How do you say his name? Joe Figrioni, the one from Jersey, how he has the Yorkie. You got to stay tuned for that. Because the Yorkies at the end, they like string beans, so who knows, but thinking about, but yeah, I'm gonna switch things up. I'm definitely never ever using bamboo ever again in my garden, except for maybe pepper plants. Never for tomatoes. I mean, I grow some heavy tomatoes and they can barely even handle any of the storms here. Hi, Red Road Homestead. Oh my God, is everything okay? She says, right up the street where I lived, a tornado touched down. It destroyed the Faulkner car dealership with some casualties. Home Depot is a wreck. Target's roof blew off. Lowe's is a mess. And yeah, so it was pretty scary here, but it didn't actually touch down right here. Thank God, but it touched down 6 minutes away from me, which is my other neighborhood and all the stores that I went to. Hi, Castle Hives. So it's all over the news. Bensalem, Trevose is how they're labeling it, and they're going within neighborhoods, and there are so many down trees. There is a steel flagpole that's literally bent like a toothpick. I mean, it's just insane. The weather this season is just literally insane. But when my son called and said, get in the house, a tornado just hit at Target is what he initially said. No. Did he say Target? Jimmy's sister called and said at Target it touched down, and then my son called and said, get in the house. Faulkner dealership was hit by the tornado with some severe, you know, with some casualties. You know, just bunker down. Worst case scenario, Mom go in the basement. And I'm thinking, I'm not going in the basement. Are you kidding me? I'm already scared to death. But, and yes, I am on a live. You are. I know. No creeping. What is that? No, that's funny. What we're talking about is, in case you missed it, I was asked by Courtney to be interviewed the other night. I was nervous. I probably cut her off, but I wrote her an email. She said I didn't. But she wanted to interview me, and she wrote me in an email that it was so good that she'd like to have me on for an entire show. So that's pretty awesome, and I don't want to jinx myself, but I'm 7:01, folks. I think I'll feel like I can breathe as soon as I'm at 7:05 in case I want to take 5 away, whatever. But 7:01, last I checked, it was 4 that I needed like a couple days ago. Ed's live, he shouted me out, and then the next day I needed 6, and then I did Courtney's, and I was 7 when I went to bed, and 7:01 as of yesterday. Yes, James Prigioni. I never know how to say his name. These storms this year is crazy. Absolutely. Red Road. New Jersey, 10.5. Chief Meteorologist Dan There said it was an unprecedented night for him, with 12 tornado warnings issued in New Jersey, 6 severe thunderstorms warnings, and 8 flash flood warnings. Yep. Are you seeing for my area, Joe? I do not. Castle Hives. I do not. Well, you know what that is. I'll let y'all in on a little. I mean, if you know me, if I'm nervous, I tend to talk. a lot more than I normally. Chris was in there, my friend Chris, and he said at first it seemed like I was doing that. And then he thought to himself, just breathe, Mel, just breathe. But he said, I know you. I know when you're nervous, you know? And he said, but then after that, you calmed down and you did fantastic. So I felt bad for Courtney. But Courtney said I did good. No, I didn't cut her off. No, I didn't over talk her. She thoroughly enjoyed it, and she would like to have me back on for an entire show. So that's pretty awesome. So that went, I guess, well. And, you know. But yeah, I'm just wondering, because I have family in Jersey. Sewell, New Jersey. Sewell. But I'm wondering if you're seeing the news where it's saying Bensalem, Trevose, you know, so y'all don't think I'm pulling this one out my butt. But I mean, could you imagine? And Jay texts me and was like, oh, eating and watching TV. Like, gotcha. Writes back and says, any storm, any damage to the garden? I said I would have no clue until morning. But I mean, I didn't really walk over there, but it doesn't really seem like it. And how much more damage can my tomato plants take? I mean, honestly, I have to crawl on my hands and knees on mulch just to pick tomatoes. Or I have to like lay flat on my stomach or lay flat on my back and look up to try to pick the tomatoes. But I'm getting so much. It's unbelievable. Tornadoes or rotations were spotted in Lakehurst, the Millstone, Roosevelt area of western Monmouth County, Hamilton, Ewing, East Windsor, Hightowns. A water spout was spotted in Famaguet Bay. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of areas that they're posting here too, but could you imagine all these storms that I've been getting and posting them and just feeling so frightened? You know, I said to Jimmy, like, and he goes, oh, it's everywhere. I'm like, no, it's not. It's just, it is everywhere. But being near the water, which me and Jay had a back and forth about that. When you're near the water, it's worse, and he just doesn't buy it. He just doesn't buy it. I'm like, that would be like being at the beach and you get a really bad thunder lightning storm. It's obviously going to be worse because you're near the water. So I am very close to the milestone. I'm just so happy you're safe. I'm happy you're safe too. This is why I decided to do a live, because I can't even believe it. I'm just thankful, like, my Jared, who's 23, didn't pick up an extra shift because he's a hard worker. Because could you imagine, like he said, Mom, I only remember Sandy and it was nothing like this. He said, let alone the roof of my work blew off, you know. And I'm like, I'm just thankful you weren't in there and didn't take a shift. And then my other son, Johnny, who's 26, who works for Faulkner, happens to work at the one at Jenkintown, not closer to home, because the one closer to home is the one where some people got trapped. And it was just terrible. You feel the echo from the water from the storms where you live. Yeah, I mean, and it's just crazy. But you know, me and Jay sometimes have a difference of opinion about that. But I mean, I've lived through some storms, and now that I'm near the water, like, I have a quick short I might post of this humongous ship going up the Delaware River. I mean, look it up. I'm very close to the Delaware River. You have high tide, low tide. Jimmy said the highest the water has ever come on a really bad storm is to the middle of the street. It's never actually reached over here, so that I'm not worried about. It's just the severe winds that come off of the water. It's just really does some damage. I mean, I do videos and there's so much racket because for a week, people have still been cleaning up from the last storm. Taking down trees and, you know, trying to clean up things like that. I mean, what are you going to do? Tornadoes took house out here already this year. We had bad storms coming Sunday here. Oh no, houses, stay safe with the weather. I am trying, but I mean, honestly, I need to make a decision. I figured I would do this also on a live. What do you all think? I am going to today post the 2-part video. Please watch it. I can't control this stupid software. We've contacted T-Mobile. You know, everybody that you need to contact. The phone was fine. Chris said do the upgrade. I did the upgrade, and now it just cuts you off unless it's like, you know, super duper cloudy and not hot. So I guess I can only use my phone in the wintertime, which is ridiculous, right? But I am going through a lot pulling out tomatoes. I mean, I am so stinking sore today. So today, I'm going to show you. I have another one too, like butt up in the air and everything. And it's my butt's pointing that way. I'm like, could you imagine what these neighbors think? Like, what is this crazy girl doing? Anything just to get to a tomato. They're so collapsed that I'm just trying to make a rational decision if I should just rip out the tomatoes on the bed on the end. See, follow my finger. The bed on the end, and just take off all the green ones and let them ripe. And then I could also use that bed because literally I can't even get up the aisle. And then the other side of it's an 8x4 bed. The other side of the bed, they're so over that it leaves me like a little hole about this big, and I have to crawl in there and try to look up. And I mean, it's backbreaking. I mean, look, I'm going to show you what this is a special treat under these terrible circumstances today of like not even 6 minutes from here, the cleanup that they have to go through. I'm going to show you what I have going on very quickly. So hang tight because I will turn it around. Are you ready? That didn't work. Let me say, I'll try it one more time. Here we go. More green beans, peppers, tomatoes, more peppers. I have a bucket full of tomatoes. I have tomatoes all over the counter. Please don't judge because my place is a mess. I have zucchini coming out the ears. More peppers, more peppers. I mean, hello, I've been freezing tomatoes. This is another extra bowl that I picked. The sweet peppers yesterday when I did that video. But I mean, really? I mean, it's a bucket full. It's a lot of processing, a lot of work. And yeah, let's see. Hello, Rusty Pepper, how are you? Jay's the man. No, you're not. You're on my poop list, Jay. No, I'm just kidding. So yeah, they're just everywhere. I started a baggie of, these are the cherry tomatoes, the large ones. And then I did this, which I'm letting them sit. I have a video on that. I did some roasted cherry tomatoes so I could put them in olive oil and use them for on top of pizzas or salads. So I have that still to clean up. I got this jar, just hang with me. I got this jar from TJ Maxx. It said made in Italy, and I have some really good roasted peppers. I talk about them, and I wanted to roast them and fit them in this jar with olive oil. There's just so much to do. Plus I'm working on like my herbs. I just did my chives. I did scallions, however you just want to call them. I am so stinking busy. It's just unreal. But can we talk? Look at this. Look at the size of this tomato. I mean, unbelievable, right? So that's what's going on. And another big fat one there. The dehydrator is all ripped apart. You know, no shame in my game. Now let me show you this real quick. And y'all can tell me, either rip it out or keep it. Just hang tight. Hopefully it won't buffer. Here we go. We're going into the garden. Oh, it did get pushed a little bit even more. So this is what I'm looking at. This is the end bed. And now the little hole that I usually crawl under is, I guess the storm pushed the tomato plants out even further. I see it saying the internet connection is unstable. Just hang tight. So this is the last bed. I guess the storm got it and knocked more tomatoes out. And this is that bed. So there's usually like a hole in there I can crawl up, and now the hole's gone. And now this is the middle. So I'm just seeing this live time with you guys. So I guess the winds did get me last night, and I'm just seeing it now. So this is just a hot mess. Let's go around. Hang tight in case it buffers. Just hold on. This is with, oh yeah. And that's the bed. That's the bed. So do you believe that? Out in the garden. That's how busy I was yesterday. I'm trying to make my way back up so I don't lose you all. Got a duck. Ay, ay, ay. I would never be so careless, and that was a very careless move on my part. So yeah, I left a whole bowl of tomatoes out in the rain. Look at this. They're fine, but I would not normally do that. So apparently, let me turn this. Okay, apparently the garden got hit again because those tomato plants are so down now. It looked normal to me as soon as I opened the door and decided to go live, but I mean, do you see that hot mess? I don't know what to do. Rusty Pepper Blessed. Hello, Jay. Excellent harvest. Are you single? You know I'm single, Jay. You're not, though. Haha. I'm just kidding. Haha. Jay Schwartz. Hello, Castle Hives. The Rusty Pepper saying hello. They wanted a bath. Yeah, but did you see the beds? It's like now I have more tomato damage. I mean, at least before I had a little crawl space, I could crawl underneath and at least pick some of the tomatoes. Now this is like impossible because now the tomatoes are fully out to the right over there. I just can't even believe it. So I guess I did suffer more damage to the garden. Howdy at the Rusty Pepper. How are you? And yeah, I don't want to leave my tomatoes. Trying to see, get the water off of there, or out of the bowl, I should say. So yeah, I mean, all that picking I did yesterday, and then I leave a bowl sitting out in the rain. Believe it? And then yet another storm. There's a lot in here too. Arkansas Travelers. This one has a little cat face to it. I'm going to be doing a video on what causes that and whatever. So, needless to say, and this was not even on the vine. So it's a little green, but that'll be okay. And this is a big mama right here. Fully green. Well, bottom's a little done, but green. So what do you think? Should I just call it a day and rip those tomatoes out and just pick every single one that's in there? I mean, did you see the beds? I can't even believe it. Again today, there's just more damage. The tomatoes just can't withstand to the winds here. Good morning, Castle Hives. Hi at Red Road Homestead. This is Garden State Gardener. Joe says beautiful. Thanks, Joe. Did it tune you guys out, or were you able to see the bed damage that we just witnessed together that I had no idea even happened? So I need to make a decision and just, I don't know, I could have used the whole bed for carrots or something. I don't know. But there's so many tomatoes on there though, so many tomatoes. But it's just an unbearable process. I think that's why I'm so sore today. From crawling in between and picking tomatoes, and now it's even worse today because of these storms. So can you all hear and see me fine still, I hope? Wow, this wood buckled up. Quick update on the table. I do have a video. I've just been so far behind on posting videos. we decided, well, Jay decided to put wood on the table and then paint it when the glass broke from the last storm. Um, but I was told to order another one with, another table, and I can only find two that were reasonably priced, but of course for glass. I'm noticing today that part of this wood, which is a pretty good, decent wood, is looking a little mushy. I don't know. Red Road Homestead saying yes. Rusty Pepper saying yep. Yes and yup to what? Should I just pull all the tomato plants, well, at least that end bed out and pick them all? I mean, it's just devastating. And my big ones are in that. But I don't know how the landscapers are going to get by. I don't know how I'm going to be able to just manage to be able to get through. And then you know how long that's going to take even to rip them out, and I have to rip every tomato off, which I have all that food inside the house that I have to preserve. Let's see. Oh, we can hear you. Okay, thank you. Keep on picking. Keep those plants light and cut away if you have to. With how bad the storms are, your garden looks amazing. So much time and energy you put into it. Be proud. Oh, Joe, thanks for that. I really do appreciate it. I have so many people that are like, oh, you have like one of the neatest gardens on YouTube. And I'm like, what? Like, what do people have trash showed up their garden? I don't know. But, I mean, first garden season here. I built it. I leveled it. It's not anything that I did per se. You just can't control Mother Nature. And I did post that video, which I saw Cosmic Cultivator shared out, which thank you very much if you watch this later. Yeah, she shared out the fall seeds, things you can plant, I just don't know. And the landscaper won't even be able to get back on that side. Can you put a cage around them or stake them up on any of them? No, it's too far gone. They were all staked by bamboo stakes, and then 2 storms got them, well, 3 storms got them. If you can see the front bed right there, those green stakes, they're the ones that should have been used, but my roommate was like, that's gonna be expensive, blah 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 blah. So Jay picked me up 9 of those, a little late, but I still got 9 of them. And I said, guess what I'm probably going to be asking for Christmas? Green stakes for the following year. And I think I'm just going to put my 2 tomato beds, because I usually only have 2 tomato beds, not 3. I think I'm just going to put them in the back. So. But there's no sense. I didn't even look on the side. I have some extra tomatoes and peppers that are on the side in cages. I didn't look to see if any of them got damaged, but if looks aren't deceiving, let me tell you, for me to walk over there and be like, wow, I guess the winds and the rains from this tornado pushed my tomatoes the rest of the way out of the bed. But it is what it is. What are you going to do? I mean, like, I ended up getting some blossom end rot on some of my peppers. Not a lot, just a few plants. And it's coming from the torrential downpours here, but I did give it some calcium. I have a video out on that. But when we got the first storm, I never really looked down at the root of my pepper plants, and here the wind kind of pushed them that way. So I'm lucky I'm even getting tomatoes, considering I had to quick fix that mistake too. I guess I'm just gonna need green stakes all the way around here with the way the weather is. And I used to come down here and visit Jimmy's mom and dad and catch up with Jimmy before we would go out, and I just never remembered the storms being like this. But then again, the weather is crazy everywhere in so many different states. I mean, I just had hail like a week or 2 ago. So yeah. So I don't know, folks. I got a lot of preserving to do. Here's something else I never usually do. I usually will preserve as it comes in. I am taking all the tomatoes. I'm leaving out some for fresh eating. I definitely want to make some pico de gallo from some fresh tomatoes. and the rest I've been putting in baggies, and I'm just going to put it in the freezer, and I'll deal with it later because I have a lot of peppers I have to do. But I have definitely, as of the numbers yesterday, have came to an easy 1,000 pounds worth of food that I've grown. So there you go for Shed Wars. Easy. And that's weighing my first potatoes, where I did that little experiment in that little spot, which I have more potatoes growing. I have eggplants still to pick. I'm going to have more peppers to pick. And another gardening question. I did 50 pounds of string beans. They look like they're a little gappy in the inside. I don't know if I should leave them alone, since I think I picked them all except the rattlesnake pole beans, Chinese red noodle beans, and the Kentucky pole beans. I have not picked yet, but all the bush beans, I think I finally got them all. I think it came out to an even 55 pounds of string beans. So we've been eating them fresh. I've been freezing them. I'm wondering if I should leave them alone or rip them out and plant some more bush beans for fall. So I still see the rear sign. There it is. So yeah, if you have any opinions, I'd be more than happy to hear them and take it all into consideration. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, the poor tomatoes are just hanging out of the beds. Everybody can still see and hear me? Okay, so question number 1 is, which I don't know if Joe already answered it, should I just leave the tomatoes the way they are and just keep picking them, or rip it out? Because I don't have any room to even start my fall gardening. Number 2, since I am pretty sure I picked all the bush beans, will they regenerate? Or should I rip them out and plant some more bush beans? I may make my garden bigger for next year. Ordered 165 more garlic for next season. Also got 110 soft neck and 55 hard neck. I know you're so lucky. Are you going to send your dear friend some garlic? I need some garlic to plant in the ground for fall. That's what I need. I mean, I would take some for fresh eating, don't get me wrong, but I cannot find garlic around here to put in the ground for fall so that you have it for next year. So, and I'm not real familiar if I was to go under Amazon, I don't know how trustworthy it is and what type I should pick for this area. I like bush beans. Yeah, bush beans are really good. Haha, how many would you plant? 20 or 30? Of what? Garlic? Yeah, I wouldn't do any more than 50. I would probably do about, I'm thinking where my zucchini is, this zucchini patch, if you've been watching my videos, my friend, Castle Hives. I'm just messing with you. I was thinking about putting all the garlic either over there or in the watermelon patch, so it's not in my way come spring. Most likely, I think the watermelon patch is probably where I would plant them. I found a nice place, Garlic Gods. You have so many to spare. Garden State Gardener. Got to go, everyone. Take care. Have a great weekend. Be safe and keep smiling. I'm trying. But Joe, real quick before you hop off, should I leave them and just keep picking them, or should I just rip them out? The tomatoes, that is. And the bush beans. Since I think I picked them all, will they regenerate themselves? I'm not going to be able to see the comments in this live Castle Hives for a couple days after the fact. Keep them. Even the bush beans, do I keep them too? Or should I pull the bush beans out and plant some more bush beans? Yes, they come back beans. Okay. Thank you, Joe. Thank you. I needed to know those important questions. And stay safe over there. I'm glad to see that you weren't affected. I don't know what's going on with these pains. I'm glad to see that you weren't affected, my friend. I was definitely thinking of you when they were saying like Bensalem, Trevose, different sections of Jersey. I just wanted to make sure like you're all good. Red Road Homestead says, have a good one, Garden State Gardener. Now, Castle Hives, are you going to send me some fresh garlic? I'm going to call you out on the live. Are you going to send me fresh garlic? Because, you know, I love garlic. Or are you going to send me some of your garlic, and would it be ready in time to plant it in the ground? Laughing my ass off, he said. Bye, everyone. Bye, Joe. Love you. Tell Joey we're still praying. What is so funny, Castle Hives? What's the answer going to be? You're going to give me that Jersey accent, huh? I know, Castle Hives always says, it's a shame if Garden State Gardener's getting off, but Castle Hives always swears that I have a Jersey accent. I don't think I have a Jersey accent, but, you know, does anybody else think I sound like I'm from Jersey? It's crazy, because when I be talking a little bit more like this, or I don't know, or maybe that's an Italian accent, I don't know. Castle Hives, you just crack me up. Yeah, if that's what you want to call it, then I guess I'm giving you that Jersey accent. I'll talk with my hands. I can send some, but you know, I gotta give you a hard time. That's okay. That's all right. You can give me a hard time because we're good friends like that. I still really do appreciate the carrots that the onions that you sent me before. Remember? And then somebody stole them in between the carrots. I mean, like, who does that? It's just weird. No, not really, Mel. No? See? Red Road Homestead doesn't think that I have a Jersey accent. I think I'm just me. I have my own vocabulary. I have my own dictionary. What you see is what you get. And when I first left Mount Pocono, I definitely had an accent. Because, believe me, the city folks were definitely pointing that out. I was like, this dog had run out, and I was like, get the dog out of the road. And they're like, road? I don't know where you come from, honey, but there's streets down here. And I was just like, ugh. And I had that cutesy little country accent that I lost. So, hi, Abby's Life on the Farm. How are you? So, yeah. I'm going to hold you to that, Castle Hives. And can you get crack-a-lackin', please? Because, you know, I need to get them in by what? Let's see. I'm going to shoot for, so if I get them in, let's see. How many months does garlic have to stay in the ground? Because if I can get them, say, before September, I can get them in the ground in October, like 1st. You would count October, November, December, January, February, March, April, I think. Garlic is in October, so yeah, that's what I thought. And how many months? Is 6-7 months? So yeah, if I can get them in the ground, ooh, I'm going to do a whole big thing. Like, I think I'm just going to call my garlic the Castle Hive garlic bed. Doesn't that sound awesome? Yeah, if they could get here on time, like earlier in advance, Castle Hives, please. I'm going to designate an area and just call it the Castle Hive garlic. And I can get them planted the 1st of October. And then I think it's 6 months, I think. You want to plant mid to end of October and harvest late June or July. Okay, well then you need to get crack-a-lackin' and get moving, my friends. Because some people around here grow garlic. I ask them where they get it, and they don't tell me. But I always thought it was like the beginning of October. So it's the end of October and harvest late June or July. Hardnecks have the scapes. Ooh, the hardnecks are the big ones, right? Good to know, Castle Hives. You can cut the scapes and use them to cook with. I know, I did that once. On one onion that I got, there was a couple scapes. They were delish. The hardneck grows bigger. Is that good for saving? Do you plant cloves or starts of garlic in October at Castle Hives? Because I don't want to have to go to the grocery store and buy a bootload full of garlic and then it not end up working in the ground right. So that would be really awesome if you can hook your friend up. You plant individual cloves and they will grow into an entire head. Yes. Yeah, that helps out Abby to know that. Castle Hives, here's my question. Do you leave the skin on? Or do you take this like the paper on, or do you take the paper off? I started with 8 heads 3 years ago and now I have 132. Well, that's awesome. Hedgehog's Homestead, hello, how are you? Well, I had bad luck planting cloves in the spring, says Abby. So, welcome to the live chat. We were just discussing 6 minutes from here. It's all over the news. Tornado touchdown. Destroyed the company that my son works for, the Faulkner dealership, I think it is. It had some casualties. The Target roof blew off. And yeah, so just craziness. And now we're talking about garlic. I leave the skin on so they store longer. Hard neck only stay good for like 4 to 6 months. Soft neck stay longer. No, my question is, do you leave the skin on when you plant it in the ground? That's my question. And do you believe this all, Hedgehog? All the tomatoes I picked yesterday, which I just gave everybody a tour of my kitchen, I left the bowl out in, you know, a tornado. Wow, there's another spot doing that to the table. Jay, if you're listening, you might have to take a look at this tabletop. There's 3 spots I see. And I don't know why that would be happening. That's a good question, Melody, about the skins. Yeah. Oh, yes, I just break the heads apart and plant root down. Okay, so you are leaving the paper on. Hard neck only stay good for about 4 to 6 months. I like hard necks, though. They're huge. And the soft necks, I know, will store longer. So whatever you want to spare to your friend, surprise me. I'm going to designate a bed or an in-ground area. Maybe I'll even make like one of those little signs that says Castle Hive Garden, Castle Hive's Garlic Garden. Oh, that's cute. That's awesome. A lot of tomatoes. I can't wait for mine to turn. They're starting to turn down. The kitchen's full of tomatoes. I just showed that, but I didn't think there was any damage here from the winds, and I walked everybody over that came into the live, and now the tomatoes are like, I don't know. I just don't know what to do. Garden State Gardener says just leave them. Like, I can't even get to my blue stackable because the tomatoes are out that far, and at least before there was like a little hole that I could crawl under to look up and pull some tomatoes down. Now you just can't even do that. And I need all my subscribers that are in here now or after the fact to be patient on 2 videos. One is the string bean harvest that cuts off. Stay tuned for part 2 because my cute little Yorkies are in it. Sorry, it's the software. And then what was the other one that cut out? The tomatoes. I mean, you get to see me crawling in the most awkward positions. I mean, who wouldn't want to stay tuned for that mess? My hair was a wreck. You just feel itchy. It's just kind of funny in the same token. Keep as much paper on the cloves as possible, says Homestead Aquarius. Good morning, Homestead Aquarius. Let me raise this up just a little bit. Garlic is so easy, says Castle Hives. Hi, Robert. You had a rough year with all those storms. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's all over the news. Definitely confirmed tornado. Let's try to say that. But not to the devastation to where I used to live, which is 6 minutes from here. Like all my favorite stores, places to shop, they're just a mess, and the neighborhoods in between are a mess. I watched the whole news. I've seen it. All you have to do is type in Bensalem / Trevose, Pennsylvania, and it'll show you what just transpired here last night. Here, high winds, rains, and enough winds to knock some more tomatoes out of the bed. But the roof is standing. You know, we still have a house to live in. We were getting warnings to go to the basement, and Jimmy was like, I'm not going to no basement. I don't have any worries when it comes to this house. So that was it. So I'm just tired of being scared. I mean, I'm right next to the water. It's a new area for me. When I say new area, like new area to live in. Like, I live here now. Hello. I'm trying to adjust to a lot of new things, and storms are my number one that I'm having a very hard time adjusting to. When that power went out, I had the worst anxiety. It wasn't even funny. It looks like you have made it out okay in the storms. It looked rough on the radar. Oh, we'll pull up the news. Yeah, just more damage with the tomatoes. It's so weird because this has been getting hit here. You just missed Garden State Gardener. So it said Bensalem, Trevose, and I had my son tell me to get in the house, and you know, I mean, I was running around doing videos yesterday. That's why there's going to be 2 videos that are in 2 parts. I can't help it, folks. It just is what it is. If you're loyal, you'll watch them. And you can't miss the little Yorkies at the end. But I said, oh no, here it comes. It was thunder and lightning. The dogwood tree was bending all the way down out front. And it poured real quick. And then, like, you could see the... So 6 minutes, I'm pointing my finger that way. Yeah. My son called and said, you know, he called back to then tell me that Faulkner, the dealership, there's major casualties. The roof's ripped off, like just a lot of damage. And then Thomas texted me to tell me that Jean was at work and the Target roof blew off. Like, just a mess. Total mess. And I feel really bad. You know, for me personally, I like that area. Chris, who's always usually on the lives, but he won't be in this morning because he's at work, said, to be honest with you, Melody, I liked where you lived. He goes, but I like where you live now much better. I know the storms are hard and you have to get used to them, but I just like where you live better. It's quiet, it's peaceful. You hear the jamming on the river with the wave runners and the boats, and you get these huge ships, and I just overall like the neighborhood, you know. It wasn't a bad neighborhood there, but it was also... I lived in a townhouse, so, you know, it's more space, more freedom to do what you want here, obviously. And the neighbors are nice, except for one. But, yeah. So, let's see. So, just my tomatoes took another beating. Homestead Aquarius. Okay, you still have a wrench. My Aquarius, I'll be on the farm. Hello, Homestead Aquarius, a gardener, Garden State Gardener. Yeah, he was in here for a while. He's fine too. Some areas around, like near him, around him, got hit. He just had the same, like, torrential downpours, so forth and so on, but he's safe. It's a big reason why I went live is because nerves are just worked up over this. These storms really do get me. The Rusty Pepper, I don't have TV, so I'm sorry, didn't know, but I'm really glad that you're okay. Yeah, it's all over the internet too. You know how I found it? Went right under YouTube. I went under YouTube and I typed in tornado, Bensalem. You could just put Bensalem, Pennsylvania, and it pops up. And then that leads you to other ones. AB6 News under YouTube also. You know, it's all on there. Good morning at Rusty Pepper, says Homestead Aquarius. So yeah, Homestead Aquarius, I think I met my numbers, buddy. I really do. Yesterday, I killed myself. Literally, I'm a hurting puppy today. I showed people that came in the beginning after we talked about these terrible storms, but sorry to say that I did leave these beauties out in the garden. By mistake, of course. So I'm going to take you to go show you what's going on. And let me turn this around. And no one judge, please, my kitchen. It's harvesting time. Okay, so here we go. Get ready. Let me turn this around again. Okay, are we ready? I have an entire bucket full of tomatoes. I have this big bowl full of peppers. These are the sweet peppers. Another bowl plus the one outside full of tomatoes. I have more green beans, you know, the bush beans that I picked, you know, Rosa Blanca, more peppers that I picked. I am trying to, not dehydrate, but make some sun-dried tomatoes. I have tomatoes and peppers all over the counter, in the windowsill, different squashes over there, another tomato. Let's just keep going. Might as well show you the rest of the mess. And more zucchini coming out of my ears, folks. But I'm going to give a few away. More peppers right there. More peppers right there. And yeah, I think I'm done. Not done like that, but my numbers are, I am very close to have met my goal on lots of things. One being 1,000 pounds. Having two, let me turn these all back around. Come on, there we go. If I was close, I'd trade garlic for peppers. Well, come on, buddy. You fly all the time. Bring your butt on down. Trying to move this to like center spot. Love the peppers. You are covered up with food. I am, sir, covered. And there is so much more to pick out of there. There's lots of eggplants going on. There's still some hot peppers. I did a video on hot peppers. I did my sweet peppers. That video got broken into two. It was either that video or it was my tomato video. So I don't know what to tell y'all, but I have, I think, 2 videos where it is going to be in 2 parts. Tomatoes, I picked a ton. I have spaghetti squash. It's taken over back there like you would not even believe. And look at how tall, can you see? Look at how tall the eggplants are. They're doing fantastic. I still have to harvest that. Gonna have a lot of shishito peppers to pick. Gonna have a lot of spaghetti squash to pick. I have more pepper, I do have more peppers. But I have potatoes back there that are growing I still have to pick. Yeah, so I mean the list just goes on and on. And I, want to do a fall garden. Well, check your channel out at Castle Hives. This is Abby's Life on the Farm. That's a blessing. Love that. That'd be a trip for sure. Yeah, well, when you were over in Jersey, Castle Hives, there's an inside joke going on between me and Castle Hives. Well, not me, but Castle Hives. I told him he needs to send me some garlic so I could plant garlic. I've never really grown garlic before, and he has more than enough to spare. And he says, oh, you're going to come at me with that Jersey accent. And I'm like, he always says I have a Jersey accent. So a couple people were like, no, you don't. So Garden State Gardener, I think he had just hopped off when Castle Hive said I have a Jersey accent. Red Road Homestead said, no, I don't. So that's just funny. So yeah, Castle Hives is going to send me some garlic, and I'm going to designate an area, and it's going to say Castle Hive Garlic Garden. How cute is that? But when he was working in Jersey, we were going to meet up twice, I think, and we just couldn't make it happen due to his work. Well, Dot, I say you do. Okay, then I do. Castle Hive says I have a Jersey accent, so it is what it is. So it was a long day yesterday. I was out here at 7 o'clock in the morning and was rushing before this storm came to try to get what I could get. And when I went in the back to show everybody what the storm did to the tomatoes, I was like, oh no, I left a bowl of tomatoes out in the garden. Who does that? I did, but it is what it is. So a lot of damage going on, a lot of cleanups going to be happening. Major, what did he say, street road, they said was indefinitely closed. I don't know how true that is, but and it said, what's the other one? Galloway Road is going to be closed. So just scary, scary. But I did all that running around and rushing because I kind of knew about this tornado, possible tornado. And needless to say, I did a video on the peppers, the sweet peppers that I picked. I posted that one yesterday, but it posted so late, I have no idea why. And then right after I did the peppers, the sweet peppers, I picked all the hot peppers, most of all the hot peppers. Most of all the hot peppers. Then I went to the side garden and picked those hot peppers. Then I picked tomatoes. And yeah, it's just been crazy busy. Hi, Cindy's place. How are you? I love Cindy. Is that like your real name? Not to be too invasive right now, this early in the morning. Good morning. Sorry to hear about the storm. Sounds awful. Yeah, I mean, I took some damage, but not. I mean, the tornado that touched down, we're still standing and we're good. But up where I lived, not so good, which is only like 6 minutes from here, if that, maybe 5 minutes from here. Like my favorite Target and Lowe's and Home Depot. That car dealership, Jimmy said he got his truck there, and this vehicle that he has, he got from there, and that's like demolished. So, just terrible. And it didn't really look like I had any damage going on in the garden until I walked over earlier with everybody and showed them what is now going on with these tomatoes. It's like, I just don't know whether to pull them. Garden State Gardener said no, leave them. But I don't know if I could get used over there to see how bad they are. Hi, Candy's place. Yeah, because I just always say Cindy's place, so I don't know if it's Cindy because I want to be respectful. But yeah, she's been struggling. Everybody's had a lot of bad weather. She has the, is it Arizona desert against her? Right? You're in the desert? Everybody's saying hello. Yes. Yes, that's my real name. Okay, I'm Melody. That's my real name, not Big Leg, but it's okay. Yeah, Cindy leaves very nice comments and is always, you know, congratulating me on how things grow and whatnot, and try to throw tips back and forth for her because I'm pretty sure, yeah, Nevada. Like I said, she has the desert against her. I mean, that's just tough. It really is tough, but I don't know when. You have Team Benson. I don't know if you follow her, but she's also in the desert. I don't know if it's a different location, but it seems like she plants at certain times and she seems to do pretty well. It's been so stinking hot here. I feel like I've been living in the desert. But I'll take the heat over any type of snow yet. Believe me, you on that one. Yesterday it was very overcast, which was weird for why my phone would shut down on 2 videos like that. So of course, I'm sorry to throw at you again. It's going to be 2 parts to 2 separate videos. But if you like fur babies, the one's worth watching till the end, because they're cutie patooties. But yeah, so I think it's the string bean one. That's going to be in the 2 parts. And then I'm not sure if it was my hot peppers. I think it was my tomatoes. It cuts off right as I go to show the next bowl of tomatoes that I picked. So, the reef robber. Wait, the reef robber. Hi, reef robber. How are you? Hey, hey, hey. So yeah, I mean, I could try to walk you over. If it spins a little bit, don't go nowhere. Stay tight. This is how I feel this morning with my cup of coffee. It says, what am I doing even out of bed? My girls have fur. Yes, bees have little hairs on them. So technically, I have like 500K fur babies. That is really true. I gotta say this, Castle Hives, before I go over and show what happened to the tomatoes. The honeybees that are back at the cucumbers, they go like face down and their little butt sticks out. They are so stinking cute, and they definitely do have hair. They are taking over on the spaghetti squash, but I just saw the most beautiful bloom yesterday on a butternut squash or an acorn squash, but I don't know what's going on. Those two aren't really producing. And I don't know the difference between a male and a female flower on a butternut squash or the acorn squash, because it's the first time I'm growing acorn. Usually I grow butternut squash like with no problem, and I don't know if it would hold up. I did find a squash bug on the butternut squash, but I was able to get it and I killed it. So they go all in, laugh out loud. Yes, they do. There's Red Road posting links. Homestead Aquarius can post links too if he wants to. But let me show you. I'm going to turn these around. Don't get scared, you know, if the internet or whatever. Let me go show you what had happened to the beds now this time. And I didn't know it when I first logged on to go live today. So this is the front bed. Still the same. Not too bad, right? Then you come over here to this last bed and cupboard. This is the end bed. Stay with me, folks. And then over here, I had a little crawl space right down in here to be able to get under there to pick the tomatoes up there, but it all fell down. Here are the tomatoes. Look at the stick. Look at this. The tomatoes are so out of the bed now that they're literally going into the watermelon patch. Well, my cantaloupe watermelon patch. Here it is. I can't even really get through. This is a jungle hot mess. This is where I had the beans. See, it's like there's tomatoes in here. I don't know how I'm supposed to get to them. I really don't. But now it leaves me no opening to try to crawl. So, I don't know. But it's very close to the watermelon. Live shot of the watermelon in real time. It's doing fantastic. And where is it? Another one down there. There's so many watermelons in here. I just can't wait. I'm finding the green and white striped ones. So, the mint took a beating from the storm. Let me show Castle Hives, his bees. Look, here's the bloom again. This has got to be for the butternut squash. But I don't see any bees over here. But the spaghetti squash has taken over. Literally. Oh, now I'm stuck in vines. Move the leaves. See? They're like everywhere. All through there. But the cucumbers is usually where the bees go. You know, because of all the sunflowers that I planted. Eggplants. Let me check these peppers. Oh, look. I just picked peppers yesterday. Look at this. You all see that? It's nuts. And let me see if I can give you a quick peek at the Oswald. Let me try to block the sun. This is an Oswald eggplant that is enormous. I mean, I kid you not. Eggplants are doing great. This is the hot and sweet bed. And there's peppers. This is just, I don't know. So this one, it's not too bad. This is the front bed. It's just trying to see in the middle. You usually have to bend down. Can you see what I see right now as we're talking? Let me... See that? So, I mean, you literally have to look up from underneath to be able to see any of the tomatoes. So, I don't know. I think some tomatoes for breakfast is in order. So, the front bed wasn't really affected. It has really big ones right there. The back bed has enormous tomatoes, but now the wind again has bent the stems on these tomato plants just diagonal. It's the end bed that's terrible. This is the way the wind went. Just like that. This is the bed, and the tomatoes are like that. All out. There's a tiny little spot to crawl in there. There's none on the other side though. Two. So I don't know. I'm kind of just over it. But then again, I'm just starting to get tomatoes. And how do you like my red noodle beans? It's like you're getting a little personal garden tour. Oh, Homestead Aquarius. Looky, looky, my friends. Can you see that? That's the baby okra. Well, there's the plant. Thank God it's still standing. But there's a baby okra in there, and these Chinese red noodle beans are nuts. But my other okra is right there. It's a little tiny little sucker. Look at the size of this tomato. Can we talk? I love saying that. That is like my line. Can we talk? It's huge. So let me go back up here because it is already boiling out here, especially down in that garden. It's so stinking hot. I don't know what the temperature is supposed to be today, but let me sit these tomatoes on top of this basket that stayed out in the rain. Let me turn you all around. Whew, I'm hot. Okay, let's see. What is that? Wow, that's crazy. Let me go back, read some comments. Aren't the ones with the firm bumblebees? Trouble with tribbles, huh? Aging myself. What was the joke? I missed it. The castle hives basically flying tribbles, right? Aren't the ones with the firm bumblebees? Castle hives, that would be so funny if it wasn't so tragically true. Hook says, wow, that's crazy. What is that? Okay, I don't know what that one. Oh, eggplant. Yeah, that one is huge. Well, I'm planting Black Beauty, Oswald, and Rosa Blanca. The Oswald, by far, are the biggest. If you want to know what seeds to get. Out of breath. But the Rosa Blancas are just gorgeous. I would be in heaven to have such a lush garden. Oh, Cindy, thank you. That's really cool looking. I like that as well. I see that baby okra. Yup. Are you doing the okra challenge as well? I kind of started the okra challenge. Are we talking about the same one? The pickled okra. We did it. We were going to do it on the 4th of July, but I didn't want to ruin my appetite. Me, Voon, an Indiana backyard gardener, barnyard chicken, sifting some soil 55, homestead DNA. We all did the pickled okra challenge. So I don't know if there's another one out or if you're talking about that one. All you have to do is type in pickled okra. Anyone is more than welcome to join it. You could still do it. Rules are a jar of pickled okra. If they're whole, then you have to eat at least one, whole one. If they're sliced, it's 1 tablespoon or as many as you want to eat. Record the video with no edits and then just tag my channel in it. So, why does this seem dark? It's very weird. And it's all the way up. That's nuts. Let me take y'all in because I have to nuke my coffee anyway, and I'm getting a little warm out here. So, I guess we'll sit amongst the mess. There we go. Boone. Yeah, she did it. Boone did it. Indiana Backyard Gardener did it as well. Let me sit y'all down here a minute. Homestead DNA, Sifting Some Soil 55, Mona. Quite a few people did it. So we did ours on the 9th because, you know, I kind of came up with it. And then they instigated it, and that's where we went with, because canned okra just grosses me out. To be honest with you, I thought it was a little and then I tasted it ice cold, and I think pickled okra ice cold is really good, and the liquids that it's in taste just like pickles. I don't grow okra. I grow okra because I like to share the seeds with anybody that needs them. And I was going to try some fried okra this year, but it's mainly for the flowers. Hedgehog's Homestead, yay. So yeah, I mean, if anybody wants to do the pickled okra challenge, go for it. I mean, I didn't let my video cut off. Shocking. It was the Samsung Galaxy 21, and there was an Amber Alert, so it killed my video. So I ate 4 on the first video. Figured nobody was going to believe me, so redid the second part of the video, and I ended up eating 4 more. So I ate 8. And then, what was it, like 2 Sundays ago on a live? Warming up my coffee. I think it was 2 Sundays ago on a live. I ate a pickled okra and drank the liquid right out of it. And my fall stuff, let me show you this. Because of this storm, I brought it in, and I'm so glad that I did. Because, let me show you. I'm not going to bother to mess with that. I have extra zucchini. Yes, I'm nuts. Cucumbers, zucchinis. This is my pepper. It's still living. This is my single seed, and I just never planted it. It is a habanero. So I'm going to just overwinter it at this point. I have some beets that are coming up over there that I need a spot for. I have these going down here, which none of them are up yet, which is just an array of things. And then over here, I have some that's popping up. I have some snowball cauliflower, some giant noble spinach, long-standing spinach. You get the drift. Some pak choi, that's all starting to come up. So I don't usually put the lights on. These usually will stay outside because then I don't have to acclimate them to the weather. So I am starting my seeds. This spinach, only 1 popped up, so I added more seeds. I still have kohlrabi to plant. Yeah, lots to do. Kohlrabi I still have to plant. What else? That was on my list. And I was debating the beans. I should plant some more beans, rip these out, but Joe from Garden State Gardener said, no, leave them. They should still produce. I'm hoping they do because they got a little flattened in the middle. So, okay, Castle Hive says, Mel, gotta run. Work. I'll be in touch and let you know about the garlic. Yes, please do. You have my number. Look at this hot mess of a hair. Holy canoodles. Yeah, you have my number. Don't wait forever now, my friend. Congratulations yet again for you. Finally getting there with your watch hours, because I was playing it. And, yeah, I'm very, very happy for you. Me, on the other hand, I think the last I checked was 701. So to be out of the 6s is like a miracle. So hit me up, Castle Hives. I appreciate it. Let me show you all something before I go out there and get my coffee. These are fajita peppers. I picked a bunch of them. I'm just going to show you a handful. I'm just going to dice these, and I'm going to can them and then just use them for like fajitos or tacos, things of that nature. So I am probably going to be sitting here most of the day cutting up some peppers. You know, except the ones that I can preserve, meaning like the banana peppers, fajita peppers, and I'm definitely going to be preserving some shishito peppers. They're different. You can get them green, you can get them this color. I don't know if you could see that or not. Or you can pick them when they're red. So you can put your pepper plant in the house in a bigger pot and it will produce during the winter. Yeah, I was thinking about doing that to well, I have a tally, 2 of them. Slow goers, they were. One of them I definitely want to bring in, and I have a Tabasco pepper plant that's just now starting to produce a few. I think that's in a small pot, so I definitely want to bring that in and put that on the windowsill and see if I can overwinter that. I'm going to try to pick 2 or 3 of my favorite peppers, and that's what I'm going to end up doing. So, but there you go, ladies and gents. Thanks for joining me. That is the news update. Exactly where I used to live is where the tornado hit. And here it destroyed more, peppers, tomato plants. These are the types of peppers that I'm going to do a whole bunch of roasted peppers for that jar that I showed earlier, if you were in here. So yeah, I got to deal with a basket full of peppers first. So I too should probably run and stop procrastinating. If anybody wants to come over and help me, chop up peppers and bring it on, because it is a lot of food. I'm only at 100, so that's cool to be in the 700s. Yeah, I remember when I got into the hundreds, 6s were tough. Once you get to the 6s, it's like you were stuck. But yeah, come on the live. We'll shout you out and, get you up there. That's when I show the love, is usually on my Sunday night lives, which is 8 o'clock Eastern. What network is your news channel on? It's on 6 ABC News. It's really everywhere. There's people that are literally posting it that were nearby. It's just crazy. But you can just type in tornado Bensalem /Trevose. Trevose is spelled Trevose. Or you can just do Bensalem, Pennsylvania tornado. And it'll come up all over YouTube. I've already seen it on YouTube. So, and I can't take someone's video and post it on mine. So that's not going to work. So needless to say, it's everywhere. Just type it in. And you should be able to find it. So, Hedgehogs Homestead. See you on Sunday for lots of shout outs. And yeah, I want to be to 705 in case they decide that they want to, mess with my numbers and take like 4 away or 5 away like they usually do. I should be fine. So, on the internet, it's on YouTube. Rusty Pepper, just type on, go under YouTube and type in, that's how I did it, that's how I found it. Bensalem, Pennsylvania tornado, and it'll be there. I also went under my phone and just was under YouTube and found 6 ABC News for this area, and it was right there too. So, but there you have it, everyone. I have to get my video uploaded. Today is going to be, oh, you're welcome, Rusty Pepper. Today is going to be probably the video on the tomatoes. I'm going to show you how uncomfortable it is to pick tomatoes. Then it's going to die at the end. And then I bring you back to show you at least one of the bowls. So sorry about that. I'm not really doing that intentionally. It's the software on this phone. They need to come out with another software to stop this from happening. So yeah, I'm really sorry, but I work my butt off to have a lot of videos and I don't want to waste them. So maybe I can give my part 2s some funny names or something like that. So yeah, but thank you for coming in, checking on me. Garden State Gardener as well. Joe in Jersey, he is good. I'm good. Just some superficial damage in the garden. I mean, that's life. What are you going to do? There you go. Homestead Aquarius found it. So 6 ABC, Philadelphia tornado. Well, there was in Philadelphia, it also hit. But this is Bensalem Township. I live way outside the city. But Bensalem / Trevose. So, but that is Philadelphia. I mean, it should probably show you the devastation right around me. Just thank God, glory be to God, that it wasn't the house or here like that. I mean, high winds, the usual crap that goes on here. And of course, it did more damage with the tomatoes, but it is what it is. The house is still standing. I have a little bit of pains in my chest today. I don't know what's going on with that. It could just be all this nonsense. You know, my nerves, maybe. I don't know. Or I overworked myself to death yesterday, which is pretty possible. So on that note, I love y'all. Good problems, good problems. Yes. Love y'all. Thank you for coming in and, you know, checking or just even listening. Sometimes you need to vent. You know, that was a tough night to get through. But overall, I mean, look at it. It's a beautiful day. The sun always comes back out. And I think the update for this morning, yesterday, it said lots of casualties at the car dealership. This morning it's saying, you know, some injuries and so forth, but it doesn't seem like anyone lost their life. So that in itself is a blessing right there. I must just relieved you are okay. Yeah, I'm just stressed. Busting my hump. I got an award for, you know, getting over the 700 subscribers, but also for the amount of videos that I put out. So I have to upload a video today. Just bear with me on the part 2. I know no one likes that. I don't like that. But, you know, I get a lot of DMs where people want me to bring them along for the harvest. And so it's like shooting the breeze with a friend in the garden while you're harvesting. So that's kind of the video for the tomatoes. Then it ends. And then I bring you back to show you the, you know, that bowl. And the neighbor across the street had landscapers and it just got loud. I'm like, okay, well, here's the bowl. Let me let you all go. Thanks for joining me. So that is that video. And then the one with the string beans with my 2 little Yorkies is a must watch. An absolute must watch. It's too stinking cute. So just thank you. You know, hopefully they come out with something to fix this software. So my deepest apologies for anyone that's being like, oh, she's got two videos, 2 parts. I can't help it. But thank you everyone for joining me this morning for a random live about the tornado touchdown. I can't even believe it. It's still way too close to home and it's touchdown kind of where I used to live. So, oh, I got it. It looks horrible. Wait. Oh, crazy fam. Amy's back. I'm back. Hi, Ames. I miss you, girl. Haven't really seen you. I'm like buried in peppers. I want somebody to come over and help me slice up some peppers. But so basically, Robert posted the link on the tornado touchdown, and I like to part videos. Oh, you do? Well, Rusty Pepper, you'll like the 2 that are coming up for sure, because I had no control. It happened yesterday. It was hot here, and when it gets hot, the phone overheats and shuts off, which is just, my other S9 Plus never did that. But that's the whole reason why I got rid of the S21, a brand new phone, because it was doing just that. So I did the upgrade that was on there, and bingo bango, it's the same upgrade that's on the S21. So I have 2 videos that are split into 2 parts. So I'm buried in everyone else's yards. Oh, you are? You can come be buried over at my table or my garden. There's so much food. I mean, it could be worse, right? Could have bigger problems than have no food. But lots of food to preserve, lots of stuff going on. I showed everybody my kitchen. You might have to go back in and look. I'm smothered. The dining room table's full of zucchini out the ears and peppers and tomatoes all over the kitchen, and eggplant and string beans. And I have my fall seeds going. So, like Christy and Family Homestead. So yeah, come on into a live on Sunday. Well, Voon missed 2 weeks. Last Sunday, she said that she was looking for me, and she didn't get a notification, but I was on. But I also got off early. I got off at like 9:25, which is like way early for me. And the week before that, I went into Garden State Gardeners, and I didn't go live till like 9:05. But yeah, so 8 o'clock Eastern for the live. I would love to come help. It is cooler than 170 degrees humidity. Well, it's cooler in here. It's not so cold today outside. You know, I even said it in a video. Like, deal with it. I run around in a sports bra, like, you know, because I like sports wear. So a sports bra and a pair of shorts. It's too stinking hot to put on anything else. I haven't been getting your notifications either. You might want to go in and recheck the bell. But Voon only missed the 2. One was for a book club. But I just saw that she posted on Instagram that she met Mark yesterday. He's a giant. Like, he's so tall. But she posted on Instagram that she got to meet Mark with Jules and his wife. So that was fun. And she will be in the live, absolutely, on Sunday. We spent like 6 hours on the phone the other night chit-chatting. So I got a girl. I'm glad you are safe. That's awesome, and catch you later. Thank you, Hedgehogs Homestead. Yeah, I'm going to hop off too, Amy. That's what I was ready to do before you came back on. Hope to see you soon. Don't forget about Sunday's live. And wish me luck with trying to preserve all this food, because I absolutely reached 1,000 pounds. 1,000 pounds of food that I grew for Shed Wars, and I still have food out there that's not even weighed yet. So, a friend needs our support and prayers. Willow Grows posting a video that a friend needs our support and prayers. So let's go over and check that out. Thank you, everyone, you know, for the concern about the tornado. You know, 5-6 minutes from me, but love y'all, and I'll see you. Should I hold up this real big one I just picked? How about that for you? I mean, really, I pick them, and then it rains or we get tornadoes, and yeah. Love yous all. See you on Sunday. Stay tuned for the videos that are in 2 parts, and thank you for the concern. God bless everyone. Stay cool today.